Phones off, please. We can have a moment of silence before we begin our meeting this evening. Everyone rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the March meeting of Carnegie Borough Council. Roll call, please, Chief.
Councilwoman Covey.
Present.
Councilman Veras.
Here.
Councilwoman Dunko.
Here.
Councilman Katina.
Here.
Councilman Sarsfield.
Here.
President Talas.
Here.
Mayor Kubistik.
Here.
All present.
At the table, as you entered the room, there was a pile of papers, an agenda for this evening, and there are a number of listed motions on that agenda. If you would have any questions or comments to make about those listed motions, this would be the time to do that before we act on them. So if anyone has any questions or comments, if you would step up to the front of the room, please, and make those. Being no comments, we'll proceed. Councilman Katina, please.
Motion to approve the minutes from the council meeting on February 11, 2013.
Second. Comments? Roll call vote, please.
Councilwoman Covey.
Yes.
Councilman Veras.
Yes.
Councilwoman Dunko.
Yes.
Councilman Katina.
Yes.
Councilman Sarsfield.
Yes.
President Talas.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to approve the minutes from the council meeting on February 16, 2013.
Second. Any comments? Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Veras.
Yes.
Councilwoman Dunko.
Yes.
Councilman Katina.
Yes.
Councilman Sarsfield. Yes. Councilwoman Covey.
Yes.
President Talas.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to approve the March bill list and the bill list addendum with the exception of the mortgage for the two mortgages for the fire departments in the amount of $1,111.77 and $77,943, and Dan DeMarco's fees in the amount of $1,211.25.
Second. Is everyone clear that this motion is regarding the bill list minus the fire department mortgage and the fire department attorney fees? Roll call vote, please, Chief.
Councilwoman Dunko.
Yes. I'm just voting to
Every-
take them off. And then
No, you're not voting to take them off. You're voting for all of the items on the bill list, not counting those.
Not counting the three, just
I understand that. I'm just a little confused about that. Yes.
Councilman Katina.
Yes.
Councilman Sarsfield.
Yes.
Councilwoman Covey.
Yes.
Councilman Veras.
Yes.
President Talas.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to approve the mortgage for the two mortgages for the fire department in the amount of $1,011.77 and $7,943.
Second. Everyone clear, this motion is to approve the payment of the fire department mortgage, monthly mortgage payments. Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Katina.
No.
Councilman Sarsfield.
Yes.
Councilwoman Covey.
Yes.
Councilman Veras.
No.
Councilwoman Dunko.
Yes.
President Talas.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-2.
Motion to pay Dan DeMarco's attorney's fees in the amount of $1,211.25.
Second. This motion is just to pay the fees of the attorney for the fire department. Roll call vote.
Councilwoman Kobe.
Yes.
Councilman Veras.
No.
Councilwoman Demko.
Yes.
Councilman Catino.
No.
Councilman Sarsfield.
No.
President DeLoss.
Yes.
3-3. Tie.
Mr. Solicitor, what's the next step, please?
Mayor, it's up to the mayor for vote.
Mayor's choice.
Well, we talked about this in the back, and personally, we've been paying this bill for the inception, but there's been some discrepancy on when and where we paid the last bill, and if there was a no vote the last time, and I don't remember any of that. So, in my opinion, I'd like to see that information, but I think we've been paying this bill, and I think it would be in good faith to just continue to pay this bill because it's a finite amount of money that they have. And that finite amount of money, whatever they choose to use their bills on, we have told that to them, and we've allowed them to use that finite of money in any way that they wanted to use it within their department. And we haven't provided them any regulations on what they can use it for and what we can't, and what they can't use it for. So now, in the middle of this process of us paying them the bills, I don't know if that's the time to actually start these regulations. But the last thing I wanted to say is that I do have the option to review what was done in the past. There seemed to be, we didn't have a final decision in the back there on what happened in January.
We did not pay it in January, but the question was, did it get voted down here, or did it just not get paid?
Right. That's the big question. Was it voted down here, or did it just not get paid? I mean, if it was voted down here and then there was a precedent set, then to me that's a different opinion. But I don't remember it being voted down at the meeting. So I would lean towards paying it, but before I do that, I think we should investigate that there wasn't any other precedent
Mr.
set.
Solicitor, what do we do in this circumstance?
In such case, Mayor, you have the option of requesting a special meeting to vote on the matter within 10 days, or at which time the vote would be recast, and if it's still tied, you would then have to either break the vote, or you would have the requirement to break the vote, or you can break the vote now.
Yeah. I personally would break the vote now as far as moving forward, but there was some just discrepancy with with the three councilmen back there that they thought that there was a no vote the last time, and I know that Bob voted no, but I don't remember it being voted down. And so that's, I don't know.
Just for clarification, it wasn't no. That wasn't what I was saying. What I was saying was there was a discussion early on about paying the attorney's fees, and I thought Councilwoman Demko and other members of council also remembered that discussion, that we didn't want to pay those attorney's fees. And that was back, I believe, in November or December, not last month.
I don't remember that discussion that far back. I do remember Bob bringing it up recently in the last few months, but
So, Mr. Solicitor, if the mayor votes no, or he chooses not to vote, let's put it that way, because it would be an option for you to not vote tonight.
to go back, and I'm just worried about that hanging Chad out there that.
So if he chooses not to vote tonight, then what is our next step?
Then we would have to schedule a special meeting and reconvene at that special meeting, at which time the vote on the issue would be recast, and if it's still tied, the mayor would then be required to break the vote.
Mayor, what would you like to do?
I think I'm just going to break the tie now, so we don't have to do a special meeting and vote to pay it because they have a finite amount of money. Though I don't believe that we have given them the proper parameters to skip paying their bills at this point.
Chief, we have a yes vote from the mayor.
Okay.
Motion.
Mayor, just to confirm on the record, your vote is yes.
Motion to grant Sergeant Andrew T. Oros an unpaid leave of absence for April 14, 2013 through April 27, 2013 under the terms of Article 11 of the Police Employment Agreement.
Second.
Comments? Chief, roll call.
Councilwoman Kobe.
Yes.
Councilman Veras.
Yes.
Councilwoman Demko.
Yes.
Councilman Catino.
Yes.
Councilman Sarsfield.
Yes.
President Colossus.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to accept the retirement request from Darlene Peffer effective April 5th, 2013.
Second.
Comments?
Just that Darlene's going to be missed. Patty is stepping up and definitely filling the position. But Darlene, above being our secretary, gave so much to the borough. She gave her heart and soul. Lifelong resident. She just loves the community. But now she's going to have ample time to spend with the grandchildren, and she'll still have a lot of fond memories of us.
Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Veras.
Yes.
Councilwoman Demko.
Yes.
Councilman Catino.
Yes.
Councilman Sarsfield.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kobe.
Yes.
President Colossus.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to authorize the President of Council and Borough Manager to execute a lease agreement between the Borough of Carnegie and the MA Beach Corporation for rental of office space known as Suite 5.
Second.
Beach is already a tenant of ours. They were looking at some space in the building, which is larger than the space they had previously. That the space had just recently come open, and so they're moving down the hallway a little bit and re-signing a lease with us. Any other comments on this motion? Chief?
Councilwoman Demko.
Yes.
Councilman Catino.
Yes.
Councilman Sarsfield.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kobe.
Yes.
Councilman Veras.
Yes.
President Colossus.
Yes.
Motion passes.
And I have an additional motion, Mr. President. The motion is to hire Chief Nick Sahida from the Mount Lebanon Fire Department as a paid consultant to assist us with the fire department at a rate of $50 per hour.
Second.
A little background on this. I think everyone knows that we've been in discussions with our fire department for many months regarding our relationship. And in recent months, there have been some lengthy discussions regarding the purchase of an aerial truck, very expensive piece of equipment, over $1 million. And we felt that we did not have enough expertise here on council to address this. So we did approach the Mount Lebanon Fire Chief, Mr. Nick Sahida, who is recognized as an expert in our region on fire departments. And he also indicated to us that there were some deficiencies in the ordinance that we proposed for the fire department. And this motion is to hire him at $50 an hour to make the corrections to the fire department ordinance in the next couple of weeks, and also to give us advice regarding this truck purchase. Any other comments on this?
Yes, Mr. President, if I may, I just want to start by using the quote from President Kennedy. It says, "Mistake is only a mistake until you are willing to correct that mistake." I've been dealing with the fire department and trying to move forward for the past 6 years. I think tonight we begin to correct ourselves and correct the matters at hand. This action tonight, although it's been a long-going issue, the chief has assured us that we should have an ordinance ready within 30 days. And I think that this council, once presented with this issue, will be prepared to take action by May. That we should be able to advertise it in April and actually have an ordinance ready for passage by May. And I'm giving my firm commitment to that, and I believe that the rest of my colleagues should join me in that.
Thank you. The solicitor has commented to me that we would also have the option to ask him additional questions, not just on the ordinance and on this fire truck, but any other issues that we would have with the fire department. So we would not want to restrict his retainer to just those specific issues. If there's no other questions, then Chief, I'll ask for a roll call vote on that.
Councilman Katina.
Yes.
Councilman Sarsfield.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kobe.
Yes.
Councilman Various.
Yes.
Councilwoman Demko.
Yes.
President Glass.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Councilwoman Kobe, please, Code Enforcement.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to authorize the borough engineer to prepare specifications and advertise for bids to demolish property located at 12 3rd Street, Block and Lot 103-C-335.
Second.
This piece of property, Mr. Roma, could you elaborate on this particular piece of property?
The property's been condemned, I believe it was 2009. It was found to be not utilities, not sanitary facilities, and there's been a degree of, call it remodeling, but left the walls open and without a fire rating, so accordingly we had to post it unfit for occupancy and then condemn it.
Okay. Does anyone have any comments on this?
I see this as an absolute necessity. We've got, a major project coming through there, a real start of life and beautification to that area, and with the demolition of that building, as soon as you come out of Scott Township into Carnegie, that's the first piece of property you see. So it's an absolute necessity to remove that, especially with the project that's coming through there.
This piece of property is commonly known as the Pucci Apartments. Pucci Apartments. If everybody's wondering what this piece of property is, this is the Pucci Apartments on 3rd Street.
I just also would like to clarify that when we originally purchased this property before, there were some questions from the audience. And some figures were given to the audience that the property cost that the owners had paid or put into the property around $51,000. But it turned out that information was erroneous. The property actually was about $6,000 that the owners paid for it, plus some taxes, and then the borough paid about $17,000 for it, and it'll be additional cost to knock it down. So I just want to make sure that we clarify that for the public.
Thank you, Mayor. Any other comments? Chief, is this a roll call vote?
Councilwoman Kobe.
Yes.
Councilman Various.
Yes.
Councilwoman Demko.
Yes.
Councilman Katina.
Yes.
Councilman Sarsfield.
Yes.
President Glass.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Councilwoman Demko, please.
Motion to permit the Carnegie Sunday Softball Association to utilize 7th Avenue Field every Sunday from March 6, 2013 through August 31st, 2013 from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Second.
Comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to authorize the final pay request release of retainage in the amount of $4,667 to Gary Metzinger, cement contractor, for work completed on the Morrow Avenue Bridge project.
Second.
Comments, anyone? Chief, roll call, please.
Councilman Various.
Yes.
Councilwoman Demko.
Yes.
Councilman Katina.
Yes.
Councilman Sarsfield.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kobe.
Yes.
President Glass.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to authorize the borough engineer to prepare specifications and to advertise for bids to complete the 2013 pavement maintenance program.
Second.
Comments, anyone? Roll call, Chief.
Councilman Katina.
Yes.
Councilman Sarsfield.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kobe.
Yes.
Councilman Various.
Yes.
Councilwoman Demko.
Yes.
President Glass.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to approve the purchase of a Ventrac tractor and accessories from Steel City Mower and Plow at a government bid contract price of $23,568.60, which is 5 annual payments of $5,267.49.
Second.
Councilman, could you explain exactly what a Ventrac tractor is?
I defer to
Our expert.
our expert.
It's a tractor that will cut all of our grass in our parks and on the sides of the road. And tractor we have now are over 20 years old, and this is an updated one. Do all the work we need to get done in all of our parks, sides of the road.
Thank you, Keith. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Councilman Sarsfield.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kobe.
Yes.
Councilman Veras.
Yes.
Councilwoman Demko.
Yes.
Councilman Catino.
Yes.
President Colossus.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Councilman Deers, please.
Can I ask one question on that too? Did that come out of the general fund budget? Because they were talking about, where that would come out? Would- General fund, okay. Thank you.
Specifically the public works budget.
Because our superintendent guarantees we're going to be under budget.
Budget.
Councilman Veras, please.
Motion A, to permit the First Christian Church to utilize Carnegie Park on March 31st, 2013, from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for their sunrise services.
Second.
Comments, anyone? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Motion B, to permit the closure of 4th Street between Barrett Way and Diamond Alley and 3rd Avenue between 3rd Street and 4th Street on July 25th, 26th, and 27th, 2013, between the hours of 5 p.m. and 11 p.m. to accommodate the St. Elizabeth Ann Seton Parish Festival.
Second.
Is that a typo, Chief, on the spelling of Elizabeth Ann Seton? Is that a typo? S-E-A-T-O-N?
My mistake. S-E-T-O-N.
S-E-T-O-N? Thank you.
It's my fault.
It looks wrong to me, that's all I'm saying, it looks wrong to me. Any comments on this? This is for the Parish Festival.
Or just one quick, or is this the exact date? For some reason, I thought it was a different day.
Originally, they had considered in September, but they changed their
Okay,
mind.
that's
and
why I was-
They usually have it.
They moved to July.
Okay.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
They're tired of it raining every year, so they try to.
Motion C, to permit the St. Elizabeth Ann Seton Parish to operate a farm stand in conjunction with the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank on their 3rd Street parking lot property every Wednesday from 12 noon to 6 p.m. from late June through late November.
Second.
Comment.
Yes.
This is the same farm stand that the Methodist Church had been operating in prior to them, the Salvation Army. It's just simply being moved around for, having enough help to run it and stuff. So it's a great farm stand no matter where it's at. I know I do my shopping there. I believe Miss Covey does her shopping there. So it's a great thing no matter where it's located at a time. I recommend it. You stop by and enjoy the fresh
Finally, add on to
produce.
that, plenty of fresh fruits and vegetables. Get there in the spring so you get the berries, and then get there later when the melons come out. You won't be disappointed.
I agree. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Motion D, to advertise a vacancy in the zoning hearing board.
Second.
Comments, anyone?
Yes, Mr. Aiken, who served on our board for many years, he'll be missed by the people that served on that board, and I just want to thank his wife, because he was at those meetings and stuff, sacrifice she made, allowing him to serve, and he'll be missed in many ways.
Advertisement, is that a roll call vote for an advertisement? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Committee reports, Councilman Katina.
The only report I have this evening is that if you weren't happy with your property assessment appeal decision, if you got it back and it wasn't what you expected it to be, you have another opportunity this year to go back and reappeal that assessment. The deadline for that is April 1st, and if you're, like I said, if you're not happy, go back and reappeal and get a second bite at the apple, I guess. Good luck to all of you.
Our solicitor happens to be a specialist in this issue of property tax appeals, actually, and would like to add some comments.
I don't know if anybody's a specialist in this mess, but yeah, the county council passed a special ordinance that if you lost your appeal last year, you can reappeal as long as you do so by April 1st. We'll just leave it at that. You can appeal by April 1st. I question its legality, but it's passed, and you might as well take advantage of it, because the alternative, if you lost and you're still within 30 days, is to pay $106 to go across the street to the common police court. So this is a second chance without expending the $106 if you haven't done so already. But if you have done so already, they made it very clear that you won't get your $106 back.
So the normal process, if you had lost your appeal, would be to take it to court, and you had to pay that fee.
Correct.
This is an opportunity to appeal it again before you would have to pay that fee.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Councilman Katina, anything else?
No, that's it, Mr. President.
I have a quick question. Do they need a form or anything for that, or?
The form is available online, and actually, Chief, I'll give it to you so that you can put it on the Borough website.
Any other questions for Councilman Katina? Councilman Covey?
I have nothing to report. Carrie, do you have it? No. I'll save comments for food and welfare comments. Thank you.
Okay. Councilwoman Demko?
Nothing to report.
Councilman Sarsfield, Public Safety, anything?
Nothing to report other than what I reported under, bringing on the gentleman to assist us with the fire department.
Thank you.
Mr. President.
Councilman Beers, anything for community development?
Only that we're still under negotiations with Dunkin' Donuts, and we did talk about the fire department before, so that's all that I would have.
Thank you. I would mention that last month we made a decision on council to change our engineering firm that we use for support. That happened at a special meeting on a Saturday, and a lot of things going on in the borough. Right now, this time of the year, we put out our road contracts. We also had a Morrow Avenue Bridge project that was coming to completion. We're also getting ready to look at the spring and summer park renovation, phase 2, and a number of issues. Sewers, not the least of which, are a big issue. Last year we had a lot of difficult things happen in the borough regarding infrastructure. Sewer problems on Washington Avenue, sewer problems on Franklin, sewer problems on Chestnut Street, a problem with the park phase 1 bidding. There were just a number of issues that did not go well for us last year. We decided to make a change, and we have hired a company called KLH. They're an engineering services firm on Campbell's Run Road, located out near Churchill Road, near what there used to be a tavern at the corner there, the corner table. They're physically located right nearby there. And so I just wanted to make sure everybody was aware of that we did make a change in our engineering support, and we're hoping that things will obviously improve over what we had happened the last few years, and also should save us some money. The fire department issue has already been discussed, so at that point then we would continue on to item 7.
Mr. President, can I make one comment on yours too?
Yes.
I think they should be, KLH would be, they're going to be a great advocate for helping us with that, the flooding issues in Lexington Court. and the overflow from the communities above. One reason is they're right on Campbell's Run Road, and it's a personal issue to them.
Yes. Yes, they actually do. Their offices get flooded when Campbell's Run floods, so they do have a personal interest in it. That's a fact.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. I think they will be a big help with the flooding issue all along Campbell's Run. Is there a report from the fire department? Chief, was anything submitted this month from the fire department?
No, sir.
Thank you. Junior council. Any comments from our junior council members? Thank you. Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. President. The numbers for last month read like this: criminal arrests for 28, traffic citations 54, parking tickets 166, complaints and self-initiated activity numbered 1,007. The chief received a letter from the DA last week that we received $5,000 for a camera, and I know both I and Councilman Sarsfield, this has been a big issue for both of us, so I'm sure we're both pretty happy about the cameras. I can't imagine anybody not being happy about it, but it'll probably get us one camera, but downtown it'll help us out, so thank all those involved, appreciate it. Definitely appreciate the DA, they got a lot on their plate, so we appreciate the money from District Attorney Stevens Appella. I want to talk a little bit about, we are into March, and with March comes spring, and with spring comes the code issues in our borough. They seem to intensify. And I've been trying to find different avenues to give us more strength or to help us out in this code enforcement. I really believe that our code officer has a tremendous amount on his plate. And there are some things I'd like to suggest to council. I did some research, and I found out that, well, the process that we have now is when there's a violation, whether it be grass or garbage or whatever, we send out a letter. The letter goes to them. If they clean up the violation, then it's done. We got to go back and check it. So there's the sending out the letter, there's the going back and checking it, and then there's also, if it doesn't go to that, then it can go to court. But if they clean it up before they go to court, then we're going to spend the time to go to court, and then the district justice is going to say, has the problem been cleaned up? And then it's over. So there's a lot of manpower involved in a single violation. And so one of the things that I've noticed, there's been a few communities, Seven Fields Borough is one in Beaver County, Aspinwall Borough in Allegheny County, and they have a fee, a $25 fine that goes with the first warning letter. So it's almost not, I don't think it's technically a first strike, but it's almost like you hit a fee right off the bat. And what that does is a lot of these offenders, and everybody here knows, we have, I don't think anyone here does not get complaints. A lot of them are the same properties year after year, the same homeowners, the same landlords year after year. So this would at least give us a little more meat right off the bat. And I actually downloaded this for our solicitor. It's both from Seven Fields and from the Aspinwall Borough. It's their letter. Now, we can adjust it to our borough, the needs of our borough. The other thing that I thought that we should make better use of with our code department is somehow we need to use our phone system better. I think our code officer gets inundated with a lot of calls from 15106 that aren't Carnegie. I think now that we have our ordinances online, which we've worked very well to get that done, with the ordinance online, we need to let people know that you can check the ordinances online so they don't have to speak to the code officer. I also think we have our forms online. We need, when they come into that first initial setting, they should get that information that says, hey, you can get the, not hey, but they said, you can get the forms online, or you can stop down the borough building and pick up the forms between these hours. If you need information on our ordinances, it is now online. If you live in 15106 and you're within Carnegie Borough, then move forward. So these are things that I would like to try to see done. As you know, I've had a couple other proposals during the years, including cross-training, and the last proposal that I made at the at the beginning of the month about cross-training. There were some obstacles that we had regarding unions. So I didn't want this to die because we're getting into a very busy season. So I'd like to throw these ideas out there, and I know council is just as dedicated as myself when it comes to eradicating some of these issues from the borough. So that's there too. And there's a couple other provisions in this Aspinwall Borough that might actually tighten up our ordinance when it comes to junk and junk cars and stuff like that. Just to look at. Well, thank you very much on that. I want to talk a little bit about, everybody knows there's been a lot of issues in the city of Pittsburgh with their police chief and some of those issues. I will say that the chief and I have gone through the policy manual to make sure that our policy is tight. One thing about Chief Harpin, he's had some very good policies in his policy manual, and we did tighten up the one policy about anyone being involved in a board of directors that would have fiduciary or business relationship with the borough needs to report that to us. But as far as secondary employment, the chief already has a strong policy in place, and any of our officers that are involved in secondary employment, that needs to be reported to the chief and then approved at that level. I attended the school board meeting with regards with the upcoming renovation project at Carnegie Elementary. And the project is moving forward. There's going to be some votes at the next school board meeting to at least get the project started. It's probably going to be about a 2-year project. So for those with children, it's going to be a little bit of a long process. They're trying to streamline it. One of the first things they're talking about has to do with the safety of the school. It's a capture vestibule as you walk into the building with an individual there to make sure that all visitors are greeted at the front door. I also asked them, and they promised me they would, is address the Charles Street entrance. Well, they wouldn't put a capture vestibule there. They believe that the policy needs to be upgraded, and they're in the process of upgrading their policy so that when they get deliveries at the Charles Street entrance, that there won't be any breaches of security there. And once again, our officers frequently take walkthroughs and provide DARE at Carnegie Elementary, so we believe that the school is an extremely safe school. Our officers give it a lot of attention, and we just want to make sure all the policies meet the needs of the protection of the students. We've also had, last month, we've had a numerous amount of calls about solicitors in certain areas. To me, that's a good thing. Not because of solicitors here, everybody knows how I feel about solicitors going door to door, but it's a good thing that the residents are out watching their community, and when you see a solicitor in your area, call 911, let the police know, and we will come and check it. We prefer to be notified and check it. Every solicitor is supposed to have an up-to-date current permit, and they should show that to you when they come to the door. They have to have it on them. And then
We recently barred a solicitor from town for that.
right. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I almost forgot. Yes. Recently, we actually revoked the permit of a solicitor because we had numerous complaints regarding I guess, intrusive soliciting, going maybe beyond what they should be going. So that's, and the chief took it upon himself and then actually revoked the permit on him. So we definitely try to monitor this as closely as possible. It's a scary world out there, and solicitors have too easy access to our senior citizens, and it always makes me nervous. So, some things for good and welfare. Thursday on March 14th is National Pi Day. 3.14, get it? Okay. All my math fans out there. And the library is celebrating National Pie Day by selling pies to benefit their summer programs. And we have Aaron here today who will be in charge of that from the library. And everybody knows that their summer programs benefit a lot of children in our community. So if you have a hankering for pie on Thursday, stop at the library and buy a piece of pie, or maybe even a whole pie. At the Phil's Gallery on Monday, they'll be having another script reading. So script writers are reading their scripts, or script writers are having their actors read their scripts, and it's an interesting evening if anybody wants something to do on a Monday evening. Both our theaters have plays this weekend. Looking for the Pony and HMS Pinafore, which is one's an original play and the other one's a famous play, so I pick and choose where you want to go. March 20th, I'll be participating in the Mayors for Mills Day again. Everyone knows that's one of my favorite nonprofits, and I have a lot of favorite nonprofits, but Meals on Wheels does a great job in our community, and I think that they're one of the most important nonprofits in our community. They really service the needs of our community. So, and then this is probably one of the best days going. If you've never gone to a Pasanke egg sale, you need to go to a Pasanke egg sale. On March 24th, St. Peter's and Paul, the Golden Domes, right? The Blue Domes is the Russian, right? The Golden Domes. They have their 47th annual Pasanke egg sale and Ukrainian food festival. And they also provide church tours, and their church is absolutely beautiful. So if you have some time on March 24th, stop down at the Pasanke egg sale, you'll enjoy it. And that's all I have today, Mr. President. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor.
Mr. President, if I may just, on the situation with the code enforcement, I spoke specifically to our code enforcement officer, and he's open to the idea, and we've made the suggestion in looking at bringing in a summer intern during the months when you have the high grass, and Terry believes that program would be very helpful to him. So I believe the chief is going to take the steps to look into that. And if we're able to bring in that summer intern for that 3-month program, I think that'd be very beneficial to Terry. They could field the phone calls and do some initial work, which would lighten Terry's workload.
Thank you, Councilman. At this time, if anyone would have any comments on any subject, this is your opportunity to speak up at the microphone here, please. State your name, where you live, if you're with an organization, what that organization is. Good evening, Erin.
Hi, President Ross. How are you this evening?
Very good, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Mr. Mayor stole my thunder. I was just coming down to invite everyone to join us for Pie on Thursday. We've seen several of you up at the library and music hall supporting Stage 62 in the Savoy Yards. And we would like to invite you personally to come by for a piece of pie. And we also have coming up in April, on April 20th, our Ghost and Giggles tour. It's a comedian coming in to talk about how the library has ghosts, and it's a fundraiser for the music hall, which helps improve the lighting and the curtains and all the other improvements we're looking to make. So I have flyers for all of you here, and I'm hoping that as ambassadors for the community of Carnegie, you'll share them around. So just give these to you, Mr. President.
Is the pie in the reception hall upstairs?
Actually, we don't want to have anyone to have the chance to miss us, so it's going to be at the circulation desk.
All right, in the library itself.
Can't
Okay.
miss it, and it will be delicious. It won't all be homemade, but it will be delicious.
What are the times?
It's going to be all day while the library is open, so 10 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Now, Erin, did you make any of the pies?
I am actually going to be making mini pies with the children. So we are going to make cherry and apple pies with the children.
Excellent.
I ask that everyone come and make one with us. You'll have a lot of fun.
What time are you doing that with the kids?
Well, we're going to start early in the morning because we have a story time at 10:30, and then we'll just kind of run it all day as I see more groups of children coming in, or adults. If a group, say town council, wanted to come in and make one, I would be happy to make them with you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Good stuff. Anyone else? Comments? Quiet group tonight.
Erin, is there an age group for the kids, or any age?
As long as they're with a guardian, that's all that matters, because it gets hot. It's like a little waffle maker.
Well, if there's no other comments, I'll ask for good and welfare. Yes. Councilman Finnerty. Does everyone know Councilman Finnerty from the County Council. He is our representative on County Council, Allegheny County Council, Mr. Michael Finnerty.
Or from the Hibernians.
I know from the Hibernians.
It's that time of year, right?
Next weekend is St. Patty's Day. Councilman, any comments?
No, I don't.
Thank you.
Very clean meeting here.
Councilwoman Covey, Good and Welfare, we'll start at your end of the table this evening.
Thank you, Mr. President. I haven't been here for 2 months because I've been ill, so I have several things if you would kindly bear with me. I have one really fun thing and then I have a lot of thank yous. The fun thing is I am working with my dear friend Andrea Corelli, who is the Vice President of Promotions at PNC Park. We are going to plan a Carnegie night at a Bucko game, if anyone's interested. When I get a date nailed down and some prices, but we're planning on, you know, it being very reasonable. If you'd want to upgrade your tickets, that's fine. And we're trying to get enough people that they will give a giveaway, like a shirt, a hat, a water bottle, something. So I think it's going to be a fun time. So more information on that as I proceed with Andrea. The next are mostly things that, again, are thank yous. First of all, personally, I want to thank everyone that called, sent a card, sent me an email, personal greetings when I was sick. When I left the caucus meeting on January the 7th, I went home and proceeded to fall and get hurt. And this past Monday was my first day out at the caucus meeting here in March. So it's been a long haul. Therefore, that being said, I want to thank the Carnegie Volunteer Fire and Rescue people for twice having to take me to the emergency room and also coming and picking me up off the floor. Not an easy task. So again, I think we're fortunate to have them. I don't know what I personally would do without them. They look like a bunch of tough guys, but they're really very caring and gentle, and I appreciate them. I also want to thank the Carnegie Police Department, especially Chief Harbin, Officer Sean Seaman, Officer Jim Quattro, and my personal favorite, Officer Dax, for coming to my rescue last Wednesday night. You can imagine my surprise when I'm home alone. And thank you, Carol, for calling me. She heard it on the police scanner. You can imagine my surprise when my dog is barking and I scooter out to my kitchen and there's someone looking in my window. So I want to thank the immediate response from the Carnegie Police Department. We are fortunate to have them also. They came up and went through the front yard, the backyard with the dog, with the flashlights. And my theory was if anyone had been watching my home, they would be like, oh, she's not afraid to call the police and I better go away, or she'll call them again and they'll be back. So thank you, Chief, for sending my boys in blue to do their job with me. I also want to thank our Public Works Department. Keith, it's a good thing I've been in a lot of pain and not sleeping well, because when we had that snow last week, your truck's noises and the flashing lights woke me 45 times, but that's a good thing. I have to tell you that my access drivers tell me that they know when they hit Carnegie, because they don't care where they're at. The city of Pittsburgh, Green Tree, Mount Lebanon, Bridgeville, no one's streets are as good as ours. So please take that as a compliment from Access.
We've heard that from many different sources, that Carnegie streets are always clean and prepared.
But these are professional drivers that are going up our hills and loading up scooters and wheelchairs and people on walkers, so you can only imagine how thankful they are, Keith. So thank you. I do want to, I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. I do want to wish everyone a wonderful Easter season. And lastly, personally, I want to say there are some of you here who remember my father. In 2 days, it'll be 30 years that I lost my father. And 2 weeks after that, it'll be 4 years that I lost my mother. And my mother was very beautiful and a good wife and a good mother and a wonderful hostess. And my father was just the best and kindest to everyone. And I want to say that I miss them both every day and I love them very much. And on that note, I hope to see you next month. So again, everyone have a very happy and blessed Easter season, and you know, keep your fingers crossed that it would fall on my head, or I'll be calling you guys. So, thank you. I know you'll be there, right?
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilman Veras.
Nothing this evening.
Councilwoman Demko.
Just two things. I've had a lot of phone calls from people asking me when the dog park is going to be open. And I just want to let everybody know that the chief said that they're working on the roll signs. And when did you say, Chief, that you think they'll be finished?
They said that they need 2 growing seasons, so I'm estimating at the end of spring, Keith, we should have that open.
At the end of spring, I thought the beginning of spring.
2 growing seasons, so there
Wouldn't
was.
that be 2 growing? It was last year and then the year?
It was fall and spring, so.
Oh, they're going to be so mad. I told
Well,
them
how long
spring.
is that, how long, when we say end of spring, what does that mean? What is it? June 20th.
Right, when it first starts beginning of December, right? The summer
June,
starts.
all right, June.
Okay, so the dog park
Summer
should be open the end of June, correct?
Yes.
Okay. My next thing was I just wanted to remind everybody about the murder mystery fundraiser for the skate park at Carnegie Park. It's April 6th at the fire department. The tickets are $25. It's going to be all good homemade food, plus mixers and beer, and bring your own bottle if you'd like, and it's going to be hysterical. I watched them rehearse last night, and I had to keep putting the program in front of my face because I kept laughing so hard that they stopped and would forget their lines because I was laughing so hard. It was hysterical. So anybody that wants to come and have some fun on April 6th and wants a ticket, you can call me at 412 951-1017, and it's going to be a good time. So that's it.
Thank you, Councilman. Mayor, anything?
Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilman Catino?
The only thing I have, Mr. President, is I was out this weekend talking to people, and one of the things that kept coming across out of a lot of mouths was that they were so excited by Carnegie Park, the improvements to Carnegie Park and how it looks, especially the playground area. And everyone, I don't know if everyone knows the story behind that, but actually the children of Carnegie Elementary designed that playground area. They were the ones that basically made the recommendations to us as to what exactly we should do. And like I said, a lot of the people didn't know that. They wanted to know how we came up with that playground design. And I told them, well, it was actually the children that designed it, and they thought that was the neatest thing. But anyways, what I wanted to say is, if you haven't gotten a chance to go to Carnegie Park recently, please go out and take a look at it and see what it's becoming. It's actually, if you know what it used to look like and what it looks like now, it's very much different. So if you haven't had the opportunity, go out and take a look and see what it looks like now, and enjoy look at the playground area and see how nice it is. And if you have children like I do, take them. They'll love it. So thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilman Sarsfield?
Thank you, Mr. President. The mayor listed out many events, but there's a great little event right here in Little Carnegie coming up this weekend for St. Patrick's Day. I hope to see County Councilman Finnerty there. The street will be blocked off, and I think it'll be quite exciting. This will be the first year that me and my wife, since we've been together, not just married but together, we're not going to be down for the parade, but we're going to stay right here in our hometown and enjoy the festivities there. And I'll be up to make a pie and be a part of that entertainment too. Aaron, you do a great job up there, so it's fantastic. On a sad note, for anybody that knew Tony Drabicki, Tony just was an awesome lady. My mother took care of her mother years ago, but Tony did a lot of volunteer work down at the Allegheny County Jail. Anybody that ever had the unfortunate to be down at the county jail at one point in her life, they knew Sister Tony. She gave communion. She got clothes for them. She actually was a huge part of the Jubilee Kitchen. She just gave with her heart and soul. At 88 years old, she passed away, and she'll be missed. And again, for anybody that knew Mr. Aiken, you know, he was a huge part of the time, gave to us, and that's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman. If there's no other comments this evening, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting is adjourned.